God is so funny. I just want to remember him today for being my provider. So a while back, I was saving for this big bill that I had, and I didn't want to be spending too much of my money towards many other things because I was just wanting the amount going into account to just be added up so that I can have that automatic payment come up. And my mom, she was having a conversation with him as his daughter, having a conversation with her dad. He's like, what is going on? So. And then he's like, hey, are you not going to tell her, or am I going to? And because she was like, okay, maybe this is what God wants, so on and so forth, because pretty much the budget was limited. Yeah. And then the next thing, I was like, you know what? I don't want to be in grown people business. So I didn't even say nothing. When she was like talking to God and I was in the same area, I didn't even say nothing about her conversation. I was like, let me leave these people business alone. This is a father-daughter conversation going on. I'm going to keep out of this. And then next thing, I'm in my mom's room. I'm using her bathroom. And then he reminded me again. He's like, hey, are you not going to tell her, or am I going to have to tell her? And then besides that, he also reminded me about when the Israelites, they were in the wilderness, and then some of them, they started saving food for multiple days when he only told them to gather food for one day. But instead, they were gathering food for multiple days, only for those food to end up spoiling and so on and so forth. And then he reminded me about that. I'm like, oh my gosh. So I was like, okay, so he literally wants me to tell her. And he also was, the message that I got from that is the money that I was already getting, he wanted me to use it for that particular time instead of saving it for that particular bill that I was saving it for, and that invoice to pretty much come out. He wanted me to use it for the things that I currently needed to use it for the family and so on and so forth. And I just needed to listen pretty much to him, because he was telling me like, hey, I'm going to provide for you today, but I also need you to remember that, ma'am, I'm going to provide for you too when that particular time comes. My gosh. I just want to remember him for being my provider, and also too just for being intentional, because his words, him reminding me even of his words and having all of those in place before situations they even happen. The fact that he reminded me about, hey, ma'am, remember what happened to the Israelites in the wilderness when they didn't do exactly what I told them to do? They went trying to do more and save like I asked them to save. We have time that he's going to tell us to save, but also time where it's like, no, the Lord will provide. So today I remember God for being my provider, and this is a testimony that I can give today, tomorrow. I could have, said this testimony months ago, but anyways, that's all.